How many people actually read the terms of service for pretty much anything? And not knowing some of the things that are in some terms of service may end up costing you, and it could cost this Uber passenger quite a bit. And that's what we're talking about right now. Hey everyone, my name is Chris and this is Real Rideshare Stories. And today we're going to be talking about if you don't read the terms of service, it could end up costing you in the long run, especially if you got beef with that particular company. Let's take a look at a passenger that was suing Uber, and then when they went to update the terms of service, Uber put a little bylaw in it that may have made their lawsuit null and void. Now, this is something that could have major implications, and this just goes to show that you really should be reading your terms of service, even though some of them could be like 100 pages long and make no sense whatsoever. All right, and going on to this article that I'm going to be referencing, this is taken from New York Daily News. It's titled, "Unwitting Click on Mass Email Response Jeopardizing Uber Passengers Suit Against the Rideshare App." Link is going to be in the description below, so if you want to check this out. An Uber passenger who sued the rideshare app over a botched drop-off got a mass email blast from the company prompting her to click a button and unwittingly sign away her right to a trial. This is a tactic that could get her lawsuit tossed. What ended up happening was Emily Wu filed a lawsuit against the cab service in November after she was hit by oncoming traffic when her driver let her out in the middle of a busy street. Now, here's the thing. If you're a driver, never, ever allow your passengers to get out on a busy street. It's a huge liability issue. What you want to do, pull over to the side of the road and then get them out onto whatever side they're on. So if you're on a one-way street, but the left side is closest to the sidewalk, make sure they get out on the left side. Most of the time, it's going to be on the right side, but don't let them get out in the middle of the street. So the impact left her with a fractured jaw, busted knee, and other serious injuries. But 2 months after the suit was filed, Uber sent Wu a message notifying her that the company was updating its terms of service, and she needed to click to confirm the terms in order to use the app again. And this is something that happens from Uber or Lyft all the time. And in order to continue using the service, you have to agree to the terms. If you don't, you can't use the service. A little one-sided in my opinion. And again, how many people actually read the terms of service in full to understand them? And this is where it gets really interesting and a tactic that Uber is really screwing passengers. And again, they're also screwing drivers, which we've talked about in previous videos. So they're always trying to look out for themselves and try to make sure that their money stays in their pocket. They don't really care what happens to other people. It's a really unfortunate thing. But what ended up happening is Wu clicked not knowing those new terms contained an arbitration clause, which is an agreement to retroactively waive a jury trial for certain claims she might have against the company. She goes on to say that, "I never imagined from the email Uber sent me, which essentially said I did not even need to read the new terms of use, that I was being asked to waive my right to a jury trial against Uber if I ever brought a lawsuit against it, let alone that the company would claim I have waived my right to a jury trial against it in the case I already brought. I expected that anything that could affect my lawsuit would be sent to my lawyers rather than to me. I assumed it would be illegal for Uber to try to deal with me directly about my lawsuit and try to go around my lawyers. Uber, which changed its term of use in January, requires all riders to consent to those terms in order to use the service. And by agreeing to those terms, you agree that you are required to resolve any claim that you may have against Uber on an individual basis in arbitration." Now, this is a big problem that drivers have been facing for essentially since the beginning of Uber and Lyft, where they have this arbitration clause in it. It's a real problem. And what it goes to say is this will preclude you from bringing any class, collective, or representative action against Uber, and also preclude you from participating in or recovering relief under any current or future class collective, consolidated, or representative action brought against Uber or by someone else. Wu's lawyer, Josh Kellner, told the news that Uber's legal maneuver takes advantage of customers who likely don't realize they're signing away their rights to sue. And then the article does go on a little bit more, really talks about kind of the logistics of the terms of use and things along that nature, especially when it's talking about this particular case. So if you do want to check out the rest of the article, again, link is going to be in the description below. And again, this just goes to show you that you really want to make sure you read through your terms of service, terms of use, whatever it is, because this is an unfortunate circumstance that now this passenger may have to face. And it's just something that is a real problem because both Uber and Lyft know exactly what they're doing, and they know that people don't read the terms of service when it comes down to it. And then to try to put that claim into it just after a lawsuit started, that's really shady and that's really scummy. Now, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on this, how they're acting accordingly, and also trying to bypass everything. Do you think that they have any legal ground or anything here? Or do you think that there should be something that is put in place that says you have to make a better attempt for people to actually read your terms of service and then understand those terms of service? Comment below, let me know. All right, that's the end of the video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications so you'll be notified every time a new video is uploaded. And as always, never drink and drive. Always tip your drivers, your delivery drivers, and your shoppers. And we'll see you next time.